On a previous trip, I hiked into a bizarre volcanic landscape searching for two interesting objects I had found on Google Earth. I made it to the first site, and what I found in that area was stranger than I could have imagined. Unfortunately, I ran out of daylight before I could get to the other area, so I drove back a different day and camped out in preparation for the next adventure.
Good morning, YouTube. So yeah, it's a little chilly. If you saw my first video, you'll know that I came out here with the hopes of checking out this one spot. And then some other things came up, and although they were super cool, I never made it to this site, and it looks really intriguing. Here's the faithful rig. Let's see, I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, breakfast of champions. Beautiful day, albeit a little bit cold. Let's get going. I did a little more research before this outing, and so to give you guys a bit more of an understanding of why I'm seeing what I'm seeing out here, this area is believed to have been inhabited or at least traveled across by humans for maybe upwards of 12,000 years. But about 800 to 900 years ago, there was really like a thriving community center in this vicinity. I'm on the outskirts of what would have been that community. And so what I believe I'm seeing is some of the outlying settlements from that time period. Wow. So I was just covering ground, and look at this beautiful piece of pottery, or kind of two pieces down here. Really cool. All right, I gotta climb up this little hill and then cut across to the east a bit. Walking uphill in this volcanic rock is kind of a fun exercise for it's really loose. It's kind of like sand. And so that's a perfect example. Every step you take one back too, it seems. Nothing but wide open spaces. So we're not to the area I'm looking for yet, but in the sunlight, I just saw this piece of pottery laying here. There's a lot right down in here. This piece is cool. Sorry for the shadows. That's a pretty piece. I just came upon this big mound. It doesn't look natural to me, but let's go take a look at it. Huh. Yeah, more and more pottery as I get close to it too. This has definitely got to be some kind of a ruin. There's just rocks piled everywhere. Now what exactly it was, I have no idea. It's pretty good size though, so I mean whatever it was pretty big at one point. Time period, I would assume it's probably that 800 to 900 years ago, but I don't know that for sure. It's really neat, but I want to make sure I get to that other spot. I don't want to get shut out on that thing twice, so I'm going to keep hiking. So what were the people doing out here? You know, you might be asking, like it just seems like a barren wasteland. Well, one of the leading theories is because of the volcanic activity in this area, at one point when there was some fresh ash and cinders covering this landscape, some of the scholars believe that that would have actually helped retain moisture and would have made it easier to farm here. I don't know that I would say it was easy to farm, but it was easier and made it actually doable. GPS shows we're about a half mile from it, so finally, after all this time, I'm gonna get to see what this thing actually is. Here we go. What exactly is this? Wow. That is a big structure, or at least it was at one point. It stretches all the way down there. There's some different fingers that come off of it. The entire mound is probably maybe 50 feet by 25, 30 feet. Another thing I see that's more distinct to this site is rather than just pure black volcanic rock being used for construction, there's a lot more of this red sandstone here. Looks like there would have been a dividing wall here and then a separate room. You can see the indentation and the impression. Really cool. I would have loved to see this in its heyday, when it was fully standing. And then it sort of drops off over here, and it looks like there was another structure right over here, much smaller. I don't know if that would have been some kind of a storage spot or a little detached house. I'm not sure. Here's some elk droppings here. And although farming was important to this community, I'm sure hunting supplemented that. There's a lot of pottery. I mean, here's just a bunch. Oh, this piece looks interesting. Wow, that's cool. It's a lip of some kind. Yeah, lots of little pieces. Some redware. Some more black on white designs. Oops. Here's another really cool swirly piece of pottery here. Wow. That is beautiful. This is a hefty chunk. Much thicker. I don't know if you can tell. It's a lot thicker than the other pieces I've been picking up. Wow. This was pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I really had a good time coming out here. I'm glad I made the effort to do it. It's fun to see a new spot and learn some new history. You know, these people were a number of miles away from the main community base out here, but I'm sure just like modern day, they would have probably gotten together at times for various gatherings. I'm sure they were connected in some ways to the larger community. But on a day-to-day basis, you know, they were probably out here doing their own thing, surviving, hunting, gathering, farming. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.